Okay, and welcome everybody to the Tier 1 Round 3 here of our sprint season. Tonight we are at Saudi, one of my least favourite circuits personally. There's not really much I can comment about it, but has the stream just gone down? No, it's still up. My phone just simply would not refresh well enough. So, well, what to talk about? 19 in the lobby. 20 will be with us very shortly. We're just waiting for someone. Let me just quadruple check with you guys who we're waiting for. We're waiting for Mike. We had El Plan joining late. He was busy shouting racial insults on COD. But, well, I think we've got the usual suspects out front early then. Indeed it is. D10 in the Alfa Romeo is out there on circuit early, and so too is Mr. Business in the Alfa Tauri. Well, I'm going to let you sit with Mr. Business for a while whilst I do what I should have done before the stream started. He is very much back. Right, Mr. Business then sets the first flying lap of the session with a 27.5. I would say I'll have my laptop open so we can actually look at some stuff, but unfortunately my laptop is having a little bit of a malfunction. It doesn't seem to want to connect to Wi-Fi at the moment, so unfortunately I'm using my iPad as my little track map, and there's Pyro on a set of Inters with a 33.2. Womp womp is the correct term for that, yes. It's a little frustrating though because I've got a lot of assignments due soon and I don't have a computer. Probably should be a bit more on top of that than I actually am at the moment, but yeah, no, we come and go. Problems come and go here. Oh my goodness, I also forgot to close my window. Don't want entirety of my building to hear me screaming about El Plan's racist dive down the inside. That's not exactly what everyone wants to be hearing on a Sunday evening. Send it back, get it fixed. Well, considering I've had it for many years, I don't quite think that's going to get fixed. Power GT then has put his car 4 tenths behind Mr. Business's as it stands, as he is in the Aston Martin. We then look back to Fuzzle, pardon me, in the McLaren on the medium compound of tyres. Now he's driving to the line and he is able to set himself on a 28.2 on the slightly harder tyre compound. Oh my god. I'm far too tired to read that name. Balaz. We'll just call him Balaz. Balaz will do. If I do say your name wrong, please don't scream and shout, but let me know. I think El Plan's done a thing. I think he might have had a spin coming out of an exit of a corner. Why is my track map upside down? Why is it the wrong way around on the game? Or sorry, the wrong way around in... Oh, dear me. Okay, I need a better track map because I can't actually hack it like that. I need to have it the same as it is on. Why is that? Why is the F1 game's track map so special? Like, why is it like the other way compared to how it actually is? Like, I don't really know how to describe it, but it's basically inverted on the... I'm just trying to picture how they... Yeah, well, I'm picturing how it should be versus how it actually is. Okay, this is just... It'll be a good start. Oh. Yeah, because it... Yeah, no, because it is, isn't it? Every single track map that exists puts the start-finish line in the top right-hand corner, but on the F1 game, it puts it in the. It literally just flips it 180 for just no reason at all. Like, that's just not useful. That's just. I mean, it's better than nothing, but like, it's just not helpful, is it? I can't. I'd say, oh yeah, I'll just turn it round, but it doesn't really help me. Yeah, very, very, very strange. Oh golly gosh, what will we do about Codemasters? Terrible, terrible developers. So D10's, I think, is he out on another set of tyres? He was on an out lap and then he's coming. Put on a fresh set of rubber, a fresh rubber, and then he's out again. Interesting. Right. That is his teammate tech support not coming to the line. That's D10, sorry, starting a flying lap. We've then got, try again later, boy, coming to the line now in the AlphaTauri. He goes up to P1 with a 26.6. Yeah, it probably is that, to be honest. Just the way that I don't understand why it's not standard across everything, but whatever. It does bother me, but you know, we'll skip past that little one. There. So then we've just seen tech support go to the line now, and he puts in a 27.2. Good enough for position 2. If you're wondering why I'm so yawny, it's because I'm trying to save myself for the rest of qualifying for Q3 and the race. This is just Q1 with 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go as Unitos goes up to P3 with his lap on the 27.4. There's no point being all too shouty and having... That is true, I'm always yawning no matter what. But, you know, there's no point being so aggressive and shouty this early on in the stream when it's not really particularly that exhilarating. Once we... trust me, when we're looking at who's getting knocked out, the intensity will pick up. Just bear with as we go through the boring part of qualifying. So 27.2 comes out for D10. The two AlphaTauris only 400ths apart. Pretty close out front for those guys, but then they are a sizable 6/10ths off. Try again later boy in the AlphaTauri, who sits at the top of the time sheets at the moment. Bear in mind, we still have yet to see a lot of our top drivers, a lot of our really, really quick drivers. Our plan's not one of those guys, but you know, Shakos, Jack Imac, Liam Walder, Unfortunately, we don't have Lele this weekend, so it'll make it a little less intense than it was certainly last race in Miami. That was, oof, that was a pretty intense affair to say the least. We then got, oh, I forgot about Jamie Dodge. He's also up there. Mister, I spent 40 hours practicing for Jeddah. Like, I'm sorry, where have you found those 40 hours? Like, that's almost 2 days straight of your week you've spent practicing for Jeddah. Like, how have you found the time? How have you found the patience? Number one, the time. How's he still off school? Even in Australia, like, surely he's back. He has to be back at school now. Like, there's no way they're still letting this man off school. Yeah, it doesn't go outside. I mean, that's pretty obvious playing F1 for 40 hours a week. Oh, whatever, you know. The Australians are always upside down anyway, so essentially Jared Dodge is currently sat in P18, second from last, because he's Australian. Land down under. Summer's winter, winter's summer. Just get European, kid. Right, who are we looking for now on the... Who are we looking for now on the circuit that's actually on a flying lap and close to finishing one? I think our man Liam Wilder. Yes, he is. Goes up to P3, 2 tenths behind Try Again Later Boy. You know, Q1, use it as a bit of a guide, and we'll Q1, Q2, you know, we'll be using it as a bit of a guide for kind of where we're going to be going with who we're predicting for pole, etc., etc. But we're always taking it with a... You know, we're not really taking it as the be-all end-all because you don't really know who's pushing harder, who's driving, who's... Don't know why you'd save a set of tyres in Q1, like, but I mean, like, drive and then have that set, but some of the guys here are weird, so, you know, we never know. Whatever silly, goofy tactics they're doing, we just don't know. You just gotta keep your eye out. I think without Lele this weekend, it's gonna be a little bit more up in arms about who's gonna be here. Predictions have started. Win channel points. My goodness, it's almost like it's worth money. Right. So we've got a few guys on outlaps. Who's getting pole? Jammy Dodge, Shakos, someone else. I mean, pardon me. I mean, to be honest, I'll give it to Liam Wilder. I think he could be in a relatively good position. Also, what we've actually missed is tech support setting a better lap. He went 400ths faster. Oh, sorry, 2 tenths faster, and put in a 27.0, not too far back from our leading quartet. Well, trio. Shakos is yet to actually set a lap. He invalidated his flying lap. How did your betting addiction started? So there was this little league that I used to watch called XLR, and they did polls with channel points, and it progressed. Oh my goodness, L Plan's very, very shaky over the rear, and it progressed into an addiction. That would be that would make for a very interesting, I think, kind of movie. You know, gambling addiction from league racing. Well, no, gambling addictions I always find quite weird. I myself, I don't really like spending money. Some people just like enjoy spending. I don't. I only spend on, like, you know, as I say, I like to spend when I need to. Not kind of, well, I might want this, I might want that. It's fine. Wait, did that stream actually get demonetized? It's fine. It was probably like a $5 anyway. I don't know, probably. Well, that sounds like no, it didn't get demonetized, so I will keep going. But here we go. L Plan to the line now, goes up. Ooh, only P14 for Mr. Plan. Not honestly. Yeah, but you know, that was just a required conversation. Like, it was literally on the script in front of me. It literally told me to talk about that. There was nothing I could have done to avoid it. Right, Fuzzle coming to the line as well. He is in the McLaren and up into P4, 2 places below where Lando Norris finished the Chinese Grand Prix this weekend. And that's a 26.9er. Fuzzle adding himself to the pile of drivers that might be in contention for a provisional pole slot. Welshman as well, interestingly enough. Shakos goes P7 is all Shakos was able to manage. So that's a bit of a surprise. He's had a bad lap. Yeah, that could have been maybe my fault, but I mean, Giannucci was also in the stream as well, so let's just put the blame on him. And it was like we could just like concrete say Giannucci lost us all that money. Right. So yeah, as I was saying before I got rudely interrupted by people telling me that I cannot say what I want on stream. Yeah, like I tend to. I'm usually pretty good. I'm pretty good with money. Like I don't really spend just like randomly. I'm not a compulsive buyer. I quite like to save. I quite like looking at it in my bank account, etc., etc. I quite like the hefty interest, even though I could definitely be doing a lot more than that with it. But you know, we'll just bypass that. We've just seen one of the Hasses go to the line. Sorry, that's El Nino just starting a lap. You know, and I don't understand how you manage to get addicted to gambling. How do you get addicted to the feeling of losing your hard-earned money? How do you enjoy that? P12 for Balaz then. Like, I understand getting addicted to stuff that, like, gives you temporary pleasure, but, you know, I'm sorry, I just don't understand how betting your hard-earned money away and, like, literally seeing it go out in front of you is remotely like oh shit, sorry, we're coming towards the end of qualifying. We actually got a lock in here. So L Plan then out here in Q1. Petaflat to the line now to get himself outside the bottom 5. Yes, he can very much do that. El Nino pushed to the brink of the drop zone. Power GT gets himself out as well. Petaflat now back in that danger zone with El Nino effectively out but improving on his lap at the moment, and that's certainly enough to get him through. Zaki's Beast also improving on his current time. Sweatback Flame has backed off of his lap and is out of qualifying. So Zaki's Beast and El Nino desperately trying to get themselves out of this session. Power GT and Petaflat could be out here. Petaflat is very much out. Zaki's Beast, he's just got to make this work. 3/10. It's going to be really close, right up to the wire between Zaki's Beast and Power GT to see who is eliminated in this qualifying session then, as they come through the last of the Hefty S's corners, and he makes his way through 25, 26 into the hard left-hand braking zone of turn 27. Late on the brakes, as late as the Alpine dares, comes round the final corner now. It's going to be DRS, whatever battery he's got left. Zaki's Beast, he's not through. He loses time. Lost about a tenth of a second. And unfortunately finds himself eliminated here in qualifying 1. Power GT is safe. So, also, I kind of get what you mean there. Like, I just, like, from someone who saves money, I just don't see. I understand that thing of, oh, I might win next time, I might win next time. But, like, don't you ever stop and realise, like, shit, I'm spending a load of money on this? Like, don't you start to see the money drain from your account and think, where's that going? Oh, Bet365, we can just, you know, stop that. Like, get addicted to something cool. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, instead of getting addicted to something like betting, get addicted to something that might actually, you know, do something more. You know, if you're gonna be a waste of space in life and just be like a bum that spends all their money on betting and is basically, basically lives like a homeless person, become a druggie and kill other druggies. Get rid of some druggies on our streets, if you get what I'm saying. Like, at least, have a bit of service, for the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, Wait, I'm just like thinking about what I've just said. I don't know if that was, but oh dear. But no, like, surely you've got to be kind of understanding where I'm coming from. Well, I mean, if you're gonna, you're putting it in that. I mean, yeah. I mean, basically, kind of, if you're gonna add nothing to society, at least take away some of the bad stuff as well. No, Comms Box is unfortunately closed for this evening. It is just me. Oh, so. Let's get ready for. Oh yeah, if you have to use PS app, you're cooked. Like, you got no hope. Oh wait, I think I've incorrectly. No, I've got a good audio balance. Just checking what I'm doing. What is one of the Alpines? What is Giannuzzi doing? Oh dear. How has he managed to do that then? Oh, because I'm on PlayStation, so because Discord doesn't like it'll pick up my audio, but it wouldn't pick up someone else who's in the same Discord call. So we kind of just have to. We have to use PS app. And PS app is bad. It's a little smelly. It doesn't really work. Doesn't really work very well. If you watch some of like last season's tier 1 streams when it was me and Numi and he was on PS app, like sometimes you can just barely hear him. What on earth am I seeing right now? Is he trying to be eliminated in Q2 or something? Is he getting brake pedal failure? What is he doing? You know what I think would be amazing if we. Well, that was not an amazing end to qualifying for the Welshman. Then he slams into the wall for unknown reasons. Yeah, interesting tactics. Not my preferred tactic for getting out of Q3, but I mean, whatever floats your boat, I guess. Okay, right. Trying to see who is actually first on a flying lap. I think it is going to be D10, who has to really be quite aggressive on the car. It's going to affect the smooth driving that you need through this section of the race course, and it might cost him just a little time. Right up against the wall then for D10 as he powers his way to the line now and goes up to P1 with the 28.2. We saw some 26s out there in qualifying 1, so do expect the times to fall as it goes on. Unitos unfortunately invalidated his first lap. Shakos now just beginning that flying lap, and there goes Spyro to the top of the timing sheets with the 27.6, which is the best he is able to manage so far. We'll see how much more he can improve throughout the session. Power GT then it goes to 28.0, a decent effort from him. El Nino goes to the top, literally 10,800 faster than Pyro. Try again later, boy. Win with another 26.7, 9/10 clear. My goodness. Fuzzles put in a 27.6. We saw him much faster last time around, so we'll see where that goes. And it is mediums for ballast though. Brakes failed. Impossible. maybe we should sentence Giannuzzi to having to do a stream with L Plan in the comms box just to see what monstrosities he comes out with. You know, we think we'd get demonetized with me here. Oh my goodness, could you imagine L Plan? Like, here comes Jack Imac then. A 28.1. Jack, he said he was struggling a bit around Saudi. You know. Do we want the league to be kept? I think, you know, I think maybe if it was like, if a lot of the guys around here remember season 1, you know, we're a little bit smaller. If it was season 1, I'd be like, just for a laugh and a giggle, yeah, let's chuck him in. But I feel like we've got more than like 10 followers on Instagram now, so I think, you know, we've got to be a little careful with what we put in the commentary position. Oh gosh. Maybe that's an idea for a fun stream, but you know, we just set up a completely different account for it, just to, you know, make sure nothing too unprecedented happens on our watch. Liam Broder, as we were laughing and giggling about what on earth might happen if we allowed El Plan to speak, he put in a 27.2, Unitos with a 27.3 alongside Shakos. Shakos actually 3 thousandths behind Unitos. Pretty close. Yeah, Jack. Yeah, he might even find himself out here. D10's back on another outlap. Mr. Business is recharging and going again. Tech support is on that flyer at the moment, so too is Jamie Dodge. But we're going to stick with tech support, who currently is the furthest along his flying lap. Stuck in dirty air. I mean, to be fair, around Saudi Arabia, dirty air is a pretty large problem just because of how a lot of the corners are so fast. They're like fast, medium speed stuff. So you get in that dirty air, it's going to just absolutely wreck your performance through these corners. You know, how bad it must have been in 2021 where there was the first Grand Prix here. Oh, I'm so glad I wasn't driving an F1 car that day. Tech support to the top of the timing sheets. Very similar to his Q1 time. Then Mr. Consistent over here. Topping the sheets with a 26.7. No, wait. He wasn't on the 20. He was on the 27. He's improved from... Sorry, that's my mistake. Yeah. That crash was just gargantuan when it happened. I remember seeing the videos and I was like flipping out because we had like the proper onboards as well, which was just made it like seem so much more violent. As Jamie Dodge just put in a 26.9. I think we're just seeing D10 start his lap. Yes, we are. But we're going to stick with Mr. Business, who himself is edging just that bit more towards turn 27. I think died. I don't know. Mr. Business to the line now, puts a time good enough for P7 in. I mean, I didn't quite think he was, you know, gonna die from that accident. It was pretty violent, but like, I'm pretty sure Schumachers only get you know, they only get killed by like stuff on slopes, not, you know, flat circuits like Jeddah. So I just sort of thought, nah, he'll probably be fine. But, you know, he was fine. I think also just like knowing and understanding the kind of safety behind modern Formula 1 cars, and I think ever since seeing that Grosjean crash in Bahrain and watching him walk away, I kind of have this belief that F1 drivers in cars are just like invincible. I think, does anyone remember that Top Gear episode where they had the Toyota pickup truck and they tried to destroy it as much as possible? Do you remember that one? And then like they put it on top of a tower block demolition that still worked. I mean, that's kind of what I think a modern Formula 1 car is like in terms of safety standards. After Grosjean put it straight through a barrier and then still walked out and just like shook his hands like he was drying them after a bit, you know, after washing his hands, you know. Like, sorry, what? Yeah, see, like, how? That's why I think modern Formula 1 car safety standards like that flipping Toyota pickup truck, right? Just outrageous. You know, one thing that's surprising me is how much we're seeing Jack Imac and Shakos struggle here. This is not, you know, this is not your usual affair. I think the fact that they actually have lives outside of, you know, league racing, unlike certain individuals in this order, is I think probably impacting their practice around these slightly more tricky circuits. That if you do spend 23 out of your 24 hours in a day practicing, you'll get pretty good at it. As Pyro actually made his way into P3. No comment. Yeah, that was unreal. Yeah, the G-force that Mick Schumacher, I think it was quite a large amount. I mean, I've been in like a car round. I went in this M3 around a track before. Shakos, there he is, back to the top, just over 2/10 clear of tech support. And like you could really feel the G-forces in the corners there. And you know, if I'm on a very legal under the speed limit drive on some country roads, you can really feel some of those G-forces there as well. And you know, and you could only imagine what these drivers feel when they hit that wall hard. You know, it's just, they're amazing, and the cars are just so strong. You know, it's incredible. Try again later, boy. Then does indeed go to the top of the timing sheets then, with a 26.342 being his best effort so far in the session. So, well, I think we've got Jack Imac on a flying lap at the moment then. In this Red Bull car. He does need quite a lot to improve, if I'm being honest. He's got to do a lot more. Oh, he's had to back out of that one. You can see he just didn't quite, the car just wasn't really where he really probably wanted it to be. As tech support retires, believing he has done enough in the session to escape the elimination zone. That's bold from tech support. Not because I don't think, you know... Well, I think... You say that, right? That they're not strong because they're made to break apart. But... the bits that aren't meant to break apart... Like, the monocoque, for example. That's what I mean, like... The bits that are meant... The car breaks apart slightly, but that's intentional. Because, let's be honest, if you had a fully stiff car going into the wall as hard as, you know, Mick Schumacher's did, and there was no crumple, no parts flying everywhere, he would just die. The G-force would be way too much to handle. Power GT then coming to the line now, and he goes up into P9 inside of the top 10. I think we'll talk about this a little after. Let's... Oh! That's Jack Armack eliminated in qualifying then. He will not see Q3 for the first time in probably a decent while then for him. So we've got El Nino on a flying, just about to start a flying lap. Mr. Business and Mr. Business also just starting a flying lap. Power GT on a flying lap at the moment. This will probably be their last attempts. Oh, not good for Balaz. He's invalidated his lap and will not get around to do another one. He could be in big trouble here if anyone behind him is improving. Liam Boulder could also find himself in a little bit of danger. He's just got to be careful here. Just got to make sure he actually gets through and completes the lap. I think Power GT might have backed off. Yeah, Power GT's backed off of his lap. He will not get out of Q. Yeah, he's not going to be out of Q2. We'll talk about that just after we finish qualifying, because we've got some interesting things to say about that. Mr. Business might be looking to escape here. Jack Imac out, Power GT also out of qualifying. Mr. Business and El Nino will both be fighting for a spot in the top 10, with Balaz possibly out as well. We haven't really been paying attention to how much Mr. Business is actually up on his time now. As he comes to the line, the AlphaTauri car does find himself into the top 10. It's down to El Nino to see if he will be out. D10 might be out here. Fuzzle could even be out. It depends who's improving and who's not. Is El Nino out of the bottom 5? Yes, he is. Pushes Liam Boulder into the drop zone then. And Liam pitted. I'm wondering if Liam wasn't going to improve across that lap, or he just thought he was safe. But he's out. One of our championship contenders then eliminated here, along with Balaz, Power GT, Jack Imac, and of course Giannuzzi. So that leaves us with D10, Fuzzle, El Nino, Pyro, Unitos, Mr. Business, Tech Support, Shakos, Jammy Dodge, and Try Again Later Boy in Q3. So yeah, so the way that you know, this is kind of in your road car as well. When you crash, certain parts of your car are kind of meant to crumple a bit, because obviously it takes a lot of, you know, force and energy to crumple, you know, to crumple your engine in the front of your car, for example, or even just that front bit of bodywork. And when it crumples, it kind of dissipates some of that energy out, and it kind of slows down the impact. So it's actually kind of essentially it's kind of like taking away some of the force, and it kind of just absorbs some of that impact, so it's less violent on you, so you experience less G-forces, and essentially, you know, you find yourself with a higher chance of living. So, and that sort of does apply to Formula 1 car. You'll see the front nose will break away, or in really violent crashes, if you crash on the rear, like Mick Schumacher in 2022, in the Haas, that rear end just like came off. The way that Romain Grosjean's car kind of split is exactly what's meant to happen. Is that kind of yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what it is. It's meant to do that. Different parts of the car are meant to break away. The fuel cell is meant to be strong enough so it's never going to break, but I mean, the first time that's happened in a really, really long time was that 2020 Bahrain crash. Of course, there are certain instances, like if you see some of the older IndyCar crashes around Indianapolis that are fatal, just as a warning, you will find, you know, that fuel cell is not completely indestructible, but it takes particular angles. I think it's the fuel cells tend to be made of Kevlar, which is used to kind of stop bullets. That kind of should give you an idea of, you know, where they're going with that. The engine won't blow up. I don't know if that makes sense, because the engine will have a little bit of fuel in it, but it's kind of unlikely to like explode. Did Liam get blocked? Liam got blocked on his lap. Oh, the Haas blocked Liam on his lap. To be honest, I've never really looked into it, but I think that's just like the material they used. I think it's also so it has a bit of movement, so it can kind of like absorb a little bit of force and it'll kind of move around in the car a little. But I don't think it's. I think it's more based on the strength properties more than anything else for Kevlar. It's also incredibly light. Like the F1 fuel tanks are just really light. I think I've seen fuel tanks in F4 cars, and they're just so light. It's ridiculous how light these things are, and you're like, flipping out. Oh, I don't think Liam is best pleased with his block. I think the Haas might have also impeded Power GT's lap ever so slightly as well. Oh dear, that Haas is in for a fat penalty. Should it come? Oh gosh, Mel. Well, he better take pole now, otherwise he's going to disappoint all his fans, and that will not be ideal for him. I think also some dirty air coming into play for a couple of the guys, which is why they get eliminated. 50 on try again later, boy. 7.5k. I mean, Jammy Dodger's not taken P1 in any of their sessions so far. I think that's quite a bold assumption. Try again later, boy, is a fair option. Here we go then. For try again later, boy. 26.3 once again for him. Fuzzle puts in a 27.4. We then look to the Mercedes of Pyro to the line now. 27.1. Decent efforts from all these guys. D10's invalidated his time. El Nino to the line next. P3 with a 27.2. We're then going to see the next Haas of Tech Support invalid as well. Jammy Dodge then to the line. 27.1 as well. And Shackle's just starting his flying lap. Mr. Business. There goes your 7.5k channel points. So here we go then for Mr. Business to the line. Goes up to P2 with a 27.0. That's a pretty good time indeed. So obviously D10, I think he invalidated quite late on in his lap, unless he's invalidated again at some point on the lap that we don't quite know about. But let's sit on board and oh dear, we've got an ad, so I can relax my my vocal cords for a little bit. So, well, welcome back. Oh wait, you put 8.2 as well. He's just donating everyone free channel points, basically. You know, that's what we can take. You know, I feel like the guys will take that. But right then, so we're watching on board with Shakos, looking pretty fast as he always does, as the German does with his Germanic precision. To the line then for Mr. Shakos, P2, a tenth away, just over a tenth away, about 1.2 tenths back from try again later, boy. I mean, okay, Imagine someone else takes poles. I don't really know what happens, but I'm sure we get the channel points back. I don't know, Numi, what happens if no one wins the poll? He'll know. Fuzzle gets 3k points. We'll get them back. Oh, you get that? Oh, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Right, so now we pretty much just have to wait for cars to finish to begin again. Yeah, and in the meantime, I can do some more yawning, some more things. So yeah, no. Yeah, I mean the safety of modern racing is really incredible. $8.8k. That's ridiculous. It's because you put so many points on Mr. Satin P5 with 100 hours of practice yesterday. You know, I'd understand, right, if Jammy Dodge was top in the sessions, why you'd put him and you'd be like, yeah, love, I'll put a good hard earned betting money on that guy to win. Also, I don't know. I had sliders in my room earlier, but I don't know where they've gone. I don't know. My socks are a bit like too socky to be on the floor. You know, it's better to have shoes on this carpet because I don't know what's on there. Could be all sorts. This is literally. I mean, this is literally what we were talking about earlier. I mean, if you're going to gamble fake channel points away on, you know, on racing, and you know, I hardly think you're feeding your wife and kids with XLR channel points. So, you know, we'll give you a pass, but you know, just keep an eye, gentlemen. We don't want this progressing into real life gambling addictions, because then you have to become a druggie and kill the other druggies to make your life worth something. So then, Jammy Dodge, currently, well, one man's favourite for pole, certainly wouldn't be my favourite at this stage. What are my top 3 predictions for quali? Try again later, boys. Shakos and tech support. That's who I'm thinking. I'm thinking tech support's going to be a bit of a silent kill. I mean, he put in a quicker lap time than Mr. Business in Q2, so when he gets it together, he's quick, and he's looking pretty good so far. I don't know. To be honest, I literally have no idea. Oh, yeah, we got at least one. I mean, I don't really kind of like look at that side of things. I just do the talky stuff. Numi will know pretty much everything else. I just press play and yeah, the talky talks. Yeah, I just press play and waffle about questionable things for a Formula One stream. I think that's one way to put it. You won't catch me talking like this in Creator Series, that's for sure. Right, Jammy Dodge is not flying. He's doing some sort of weird warm-up ritual. I don't know. It might just be some like Australian thing that we don't really know about over here. Unitas already invalidated through the first sector then. So this is the point in qualifying where the intensity ramps up. So we also ramp up our intensity on the Talkie Talks. So here we go then, looking at D10, who I think is going to be the first across the line for the final set of flying laps. Now only 50 seconds left in this qualification session, 50 seconds to get out there before the checkered flag falls and set the best lap time you possibly can to give yourself the greatest chance off the line for this race. Quite a short run to the line here. So tech support does get out of the way of his teammate, but it is going to impact his own lap here because he's pretty close, only 20 seconds to go. Tech support certainly taking this one right to the line. So too is Pyro. Yeah, Pyro also taking it very close to the line. D10 goes up to P3 with a 27.002. That's a cracker of an effort from the Alfa Romeo driver. Fuzzle has invalidated and was a 27.4 will be the best he can manage in this qualifying session. El Nino looked to go purple through the second sector. Don't know quite how much he is up then. We didn't quite catch that part of the Haas driver's lap. He could be a silent attacker for the pole position now. As we see the Haas power to the line. El Nino goes up to P3, displacing D10. A good effort from him indeed. We then see, this is try again later boy. Is he going to be improving on his lap? Yes, he is. Improves by 0.3 of a second. A really solid improvement there for him. Jammy Dodge, 0.3 up as well. Goes up to P3 himself. A valid effort indeed that could find him on the second row of the grid. Mr. Business joins Jammy Dodge, but is Shakos, will he be able to displace him? 0.2 up, no he won't. Try again later boy, looks like he could be on pole position here for the race. We're not sure how much Pyro is up at the moment, how much is Unitas up at the moment. Invalid lap, no time for him. Pyro to the line, half a second up, moves to the second row of the grid. We then see the two Hasses with tech support into P3 in the low 26s. And well, try again later boy takes pole position for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix with Shakos in P2, tech support in P3 on the second row, along with Pyro, P5 for Jammy Dodge, with Mr. Business, El Nino, D10, Fuzzle and Unitas rounding out the top 10. And well, there does go a lot of channel points for certain individuals. Right then, we now have some time. I say we have some time. We've got about 5 minutes. So in that period of time, I'm going to blow my nose. Evening to you too, Kyle. Lovely to see you here on the stream as always. Get ready for some interesting discussions in like 20 seconds. All right. We have 4 minutes to talk. Oh my goodness, how badly will this go? Now, I'm thinking what I want to say, and I don't want to say that, because that would be very, very bad. Well, it would only end badly. So, WEC. We had an interesting weekend of racing, really, in... Sort of push mute for that. Try again later, boy. Took pole position. Buying a new phone. But why, Naomi? Why buy a new phone? Yeah, I don't know. Marks will no longer be supporting Mousy. Wait, what phone do you have at the moment then? Just can I have moderator? I don't know. I don't know about that. Well, there's your answer. Try again later, boy. Does very much take that poll, as the stream title says. 8.8k to war. Wow, he's See, this is what happens when we start letting people gamble. Because now he's gonna gamble those 8.8k points away. Oh no. Right. Yeah, WC was interesting this weekend. It was kind of a lot of cars all over the place. Yeah, it was really interesting. Toyota actually took a win. I think Kamui Kobayashi certainly did certainly did his thing. That Toyota was not looking too strong, to be honest, through the opening rounds in Qatar. Show you the grid. I can't show you the grid. What do you mean show you the grid? I don't know how to do that. Oh wait, I can. I do know how to do that. There's some of your top guys. And then there are your bottom guys. See? The gambling cycle never stops. It starts small and it ends big. Poor Marks. He's gonna lose his life savings over an XLR race. And Numi, you talk about me trying to get the stream demonetized, publicly supporting gambling. Wow, this is a new low for you. Wait, how have I got 10,000 channel points? I've got 9,350. I've never even gambled. Should I put them all on tech support? Yeah, I'm gonna put all of them on tech support. Wait, Numi, before I do it, does that ruin our thing? Oh right. Oh yeah, because I watch all the streams. I have the stream on my phone every single time. Oh wait, how can I get back to the poll? I don't want a gift to be #1 sub. I don't. Wait, how is? Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, I'm just gonna put all my points on tech support. I got 9,400 now. They're all going on tech support. All right, I've put a hefty chunk on Techie to win. Mate, I've been racking up the points after years of literally. The scary thing is, on this account that I read the chat on, I've actually been watching it for years. Right. Okay, so what is cooking good looking for the tyres? Try Again Later Boy and Shakos both start on the hard compound of tyres. Tech support on the mediums then. Interesting choice. We've then got Pyro, Jammy Dodge and Mr. Business on the hard compound tyres as well, with mediums for El Nino. Then D10, Fuzzle, Unitos and Leon Boulder deciding the hards are the best option to start with mediums belonging to Balaz, Power GT as well, Jack Kai, Mac Gianuzzi and Petter Flat Pick hards, Zakis Beast, L Plan and Sweatback Flame deciding on the medium compound of tyres then. Oh dear, it looks like I have accidentally given given people way too many channel points. So I put 9. Everyone's put like 1k, 10, 9.4k, 2k. Everyone's for like a little amount, and I've put in 9.4k. Mark just wants to see his channel points add up. I just bet 9k. 9k of my hard-earned channel points on Wacky to win. Right then. Let's get ready for this race start then. We've got it's 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go then for the start of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. If we could get a good angle of the start, that would just be wonderful, wouldn't it? What a getaway for Try Again Later Boy. He got a fantastic start in the background there. They all seem to file their way through turns 1 and 2 relatively neatly at the moment. There's a little bit of side-by-side action between Fuzzle and D10 as they make their way down into the first chicane of the circuit. Wheel rubbing for the hat. Oh, dearie me. I think D10 was literally thrown at least 2 foot in the air there. Not too ideal. Luckily, no damage for the guys at the back then. Fuzzle, everyone's managed to make that through unscathed. I don't think anyone's actually died yet. Strange. Usually someone's always round or there's some sort of contact collision, but nothing as of yet. We say as of yet because it's inevitable with these plebeians driving on the circuit. Someone's going to crash at some point or other. Right then, we are just waiting for the gaps to seem to equalise out. Shakos is under big pressure from tech support then, who's right on the back of the Ferrari. The Alpha really using those medium tyres early on. Desperate to try and get ahead of the Ferrari. In fact, he's already looking to go round the outside coming into the final corner. Tech support on Shakos. The outside is the better point for him. And look at Jammy dodge on. Oh no, there is that contact. Mr. Business sent spinning. I really wish I could make more comment on that, but there we go. Pyro then. I think that was Pyro that made the contact. I'm not sure. It might have been Pyro or Jammy Dodge. I'm not sure which one that was. But then look at them both go past the Haas of El Nino, who's right there on the inside. Under pressure now as D10 gets past as well. El Nino's got now Fuzzle right behind him in the rears. Oh, I think there might have been a little contact that sent El Nino a little long through the braking zone. So Mr. Business is not going to be best pleased with that one and is right on the back of the train at the moment. There goes swept back flame over the curbs. Not ideal for him as well. We're still waiting for the gaps to kind of actually figure themselves out up front, because it looks like Try Again Later Boy has got a hefty gap. I mean, that looks like 1 point. That could be up to 2 seconds actually, the gap that he's got out front there, but we're not going to be able to see it. We've got yellows in sector 2. Oh, it's Zaki's Beast in the Alpine. Not exactly sure what's happened to him. Oh, we can check who's underfueled, can't we? Yeah, El Nino is actually underfueled. He's got a lot of fuel saving to do then. So Jack Imac goes down the inside, but Fuzzle's going to try and fight this one, hang it the long way round. Jack gives him a little tap in the wall. Jack did absolutely nothing wrong there, just ran out of space entirely on the circuit. But Jack Imac manages to make his way up into P8. Now Liam Boulder also in the background, squabbling away. It looks like they're going to almost make it 3 wide as Fuzzle tries to find space on the inside of the Red Bull. Liam now manages to creep alongside the McLaren, but unable to get ahead as of yet. I think we've just seen D10 pass El Nino, who, yeah, is going to really struggle. He's going to really struggle to save fuel and battle as intense as they are going to be at the moment, as Jack Imac takes a rather creative line. I'm not sure if that's quite the racing line, but, you know, he is our Season 3 champion, so do what you want, bro. No sweat. So yeah, tech support is actually closing that gap in rather nicely. Has broken to inside of the DRS. He'll try again later, boy, already then. And it's looking pretty fast. Oh, D10's round! D10's round! He's had a spin. He could have had a helping hand round. We're not really too sure. We weren't quite there when it happened. But that's not good for D10's race. Who always seems to get unlucky. He got particularly unlucky last weekend in Miami. And, well, let's hope he can... Well, we hope he gets luckier. He has just got massively unlucky once again. And, well, he's got to fight his way back to even get within the sense of these guys. But look at the squabble, mighty squabble that's happening right for the lower points positions. Liam Boulder and Fuzzle. And look at now, Unitos trying to make it 3 wide. Coming into turn 1. Fuzzle backs out of it. Unitos and Liam Boulder are still going to fight. Wheel to wheel, there's a bit of contact with Liam and Unitos. And luckily, somehow, someone didn't go round there. Liam is still trying to fight this one with Unitos. He tries to go round the outside. That's a fantastic overtake. Unitos a little deep in the corner. Fuzzle also finding his way offline, and that's left him susceptible to overtake from Ballas and Power GT as he drops down positions even more now. We've just seen a yellow flag. That's Mr. Business once again finding the barriers very early on. I wouldn't be too surprised if he retires from the race in not too long. There's no front wing on that car. Surprised we didn't see his safety car as of now, but this little train at the back is providing some brilliant action in the early phases of the Grand Prix. Let's hope it doesn't quite mean that we miss a key fight out front with tech support really reeling in. Try again later, boy, as it stands. He's really right on the back with using those medium tyres to the fullest of their capabilities early on in the stint. And look how close he is coming down into turn 27. There's almost nowhere for him to go. He has to brake a little earlier than he would have desired. But here comes tech support coming down the start-finish straight now in the DRS, in the slipstream of Try Again Later Boy. He pulls to the inside of the AlphaTauri car and takes the lead of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here on lap 5. Shakos also not too far behind these guys at the moment as well, so as the medium tyre running car seems to get a great advantage. Let's see if he will be able to break outside of the DRS. We'll have to wait and see in the coming laps what will happen here. Jeddah is a circuit where you have to be driving 100% every single lap. The lightest mistake, brush of the barrier, slight wider, a particular apex, you will very much find yourself at a huge disadvantage, and I think that's just been proven by Shakos. Got a slightly poorer exit through the hairpin, and that's kind of ruined him getting a little closer to the guys in front at the moment then. But so far across this lap, Try Again Later Boy has not been dropped by tech support so far. The AlphaTauri still sticking with the Alfa Romeo so far, not utilising DRS. Interesting strategies if he's trying to perhaps save his tyres a little more. I'm not really too sure. Now he's using his DRS. 3 zones on this circuit. Pyro's now getting involved in this squabble as well. Pyro looking really, really fast in this race. Still up there with the leaders at the moment as Try Again Later Boy is pretty much in the exact same position that tech support was in last time around. And the Alfa Romeo this time leading as the AlphaTauri ducks to the inside in a copycat move of what we saw last lap. And the lead changes once again on lap 6. With Try Again Later Boy retaking that lead away from tech support. Perhaps his tyres will start to be backing off very soon as we're seeing an almighty squabble back in that midfield zone at the moment. Unitos managing to get himself ahead of Liam Boulder. So too is Ballas. Somewhere along. Oh, it looked like there was a little contact between Fuzzle and Power GT. Fuzzle just seemed to run right into the back of the Aston Martin. No visible wing damage for those guys at the moment. And look at El Nino managing to make his move on Pyro. I think Pyro made a big mistake. Yeah, Pyro made a big mistake somewhere. El Nino, no ERS. He's going to run out of fuel at this stage. We've got a yellow flag. That's Ballas, who finds himself facing the wrong way on the circuit coming out of the hairpin. Wondering if he's put a little bit too much of the throttle down a little early. Perhaps when he wasn't quite straight. Making some contact with the barriers now as well. Is he trying to DNF himself? This could cause a pretty dodgy safety car. He needs to be careful. I'm just going to stick with him for the moment. Just unless he's trying to get out of ghost mode. That's not really the way I'd go about getting out of ghost mode. But he's knocked off his front wing. I think, is he trying to cause a safety car? I'm wondering if he's trying to cause a safety car by knocking off his front wing. Well, he's out now. He's going to cause a safety car. Yeah, that's a deliberate retirement on track. And that's a virtual safety car deployed then. Zaki's beast in the barriers as well. Missing a bit of his front left end plate. Yeah, it was very, very clear that was intentional. Sweatback Flame picks up 5 seconds for a severe collision with El Plan. A lot was happening all around the circuit then. And, well, do expect him to be begonned from the league. That's not ideal. Luckily, it hasn't brought out a full safety car. But, yeah, I mean, Bro could have made it a little bit more accidental, you know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna do it, full send it. You know, don't half-arse it. Very disappointing indeed. Could have at least taken out someone. You know, take out Liam, make him. No, joking. Please don't, because I do not. Oh no, Liam Welders. Oh, a huge incident in the background there. Liam Welder and Giannuzzi both involved in that one, or it might have been a separate one. Mr. Business retires from the session and the safety car's out. Mr. Business has crashed. Oh dearie me. Well, a lot just literally just happened like that. We had a restart and now we've got a safety car. Any No, it was back to green. We were back to green by the time the chaos started. So, yeah, do expect everyone in. To be fair, this benefits Techie more than anyone. Yeah. Be a race ban if he remains in the league. So, yeah, what do I mean by... Okay, that's today at 1:27. Yeah, what do I mean by tech support? Looks like he's got a pretty good little advantage here. So everyone else, safety car, is on medium tyres. So they've had to box again. They've had to box early off the hards. And that's pretty much their hard tyres finished. I think Liam's also been pushed by Balaz somewhere, as he's, you know, not the best pleased with him. Pardon me to say the least. No, but also in the race, if you just read the chat, what's happening right now. Unitos saying he locked rears in town. We need to keep more of an eye on what's going on in the midfield, because, wow, it's pretty spicy. And there are some Saturn drivers who are feeling it. Engine failure. So, yeah, so all these guys that have had to box mediums, they're going to have to box again. Like, they're not going to be able to get to the end. Arguably, neither's tech support, but he could probably stretch the hards out for a set of softs, whereas everyone else might have to stretch out their mediums for another set of mediums. So, you know, it could be a bit... How was Jack Imac in P5? Like, I'm just rather interested on how he's in P5. Like, I could have sworn Jack just spawns in the weirdest places. Like, I'll just like be watching this. I'll just be, you know, doing my thing, and he's down like P9, P10. And then like I'll look back at a safety car, and he's P5. The amount of times he's done this is like, I remember so many times. It's ridiculous. Well, Nidio is now in P6. Oh, and he's gone anyway. He left the server before. Yeah, bro is. So interestingly enough, that guy that did it on purpose, a decision didn't go his way in tier 2, I think, and then he left, and we just let him. Yeah, we let him back in for some reason. I don't. To be honest, yeah, I was tier 1 Australia. I don't know. Someone didn't let him back in for some. We let him back in for political reasons, and yeah, then he is not allowed back in now. That's for sure. I think this is where everyone else will step in and say no to him being back in. So, yeah. Power GT on hards along with El Nino tech support and El Plan. Softs for Sweatback Flame and hards for Zaki's Beast. Everybody else on the medium compounded tyres. Liam Boulder has he's put on a fresh set of mediums. I'm not sure why. Nothing to lose. Send to mediums? Question mark. Yeah, interesting. Tactics there from the onboarder. Safety car should be in at the end of this lap. And I'm just getting word on my ear that. Oh yeah, I remember that crash. When Jack Imac hit the inside wall at turn 4. That was... I think I was in the stream with Giannucci actually at the time, and yeah, he was just screaming. Oh dear. No, that was an interesting moment, that's for sure. Right then, so try again later boy. Looks like he has gone pretty early here. I mean, before they've even reached the braking zone. I think he's got a decent little gap to tech support, who of course is on the harder compounded tyres now and will... Oh, someone that I was with screamed. That's all I remember. So yeah, oh my goodness, that gap is almost a second now between Try Again Later Boy and tech support. Those mediums much better than the hards, especially in these earlier phases. So tech support's going to have to take the pain in this early stage, just like the other drivers around him did on the early stages. Unitos, I think El Nino's made a mistake. Yeah, El Nino's made a mistake because everyone's pretty much got past him. Unitos, Fuzzle, and Jammy dodge Power GT and Peta flat. El Nino's just lost a lot of places there. The hards really aren't working well at all on this restart. They're just really slow to fire up and get any sort of speed in them, and Shakos might actually pull the same move on tech support. The tech support pulled on him in the early laps as well. That's a 1.5 second gap, and they're all queuing up to get ahead of the Alfa Romeo now. The Ferrari Shakos already round the outside, and look at Pyro also barreling round that outside line into turn 27, and they both make that move on tech support now. He drops down to P4, but he is probably going to be going to the end of the race, possibly. We're not too sure. And look at actually Jack Imac also on the back on tech support as well, down the inside into turn 1. Looks like Jack Imac has actually started driving properly again. Qualifying is just practice for him. I think he won last week's race, right? Someone did. Sweatback Flames had a spin in turn 1. That might have been because of contact, we're not too sure. It was Lele last week. Someone did something happened. Something happened last week. Stuff happened. I don't really remember, which is bad because it literally was last week. So D10, I think has got Liam Wilder. I know he's got Liam Wilder right behind him, and Liam is gonna struggle to get ahead of D10 because D10 is fast, and all these guys are pretty much stuck. I mean, Giannuzzi is fast, D10's pretty fast, Liam Wilder's pretty fast. L Plan's, it depends how he's driving. Yeah, I don't know. I was there. I literally said Lily. I remember the clip now. Oh, D10's internet is not playing ball. That's for sure. He looks a little bitchy all over the circuit then. As I'm sure it's not going to be long before we get DRS enabled, is it? It might be this lap. Jack Imac right on the back of Pyro now. Pulls to the inside, does the Red Bull driver down the inside. Our Season 3 champion is driving like a bit of a champion now. D10 and Giannuzzi squabbling at further back of the field. The Alpine and the Alfa Romeo fighting for the low positions of 14th and 15th. They are, they're looking to try and get ahead. I think D10's line has been slightly compromised, or he's just lagging and it looks like he's actually slightly further back than he really is. And he cuts the corner a little bit. That will certainly be a warning. Surprisingly, no penalties for anybody on the circuit at the moment. But look at Liam Wilder coming around the outside at the hairpin of turn 13. D10's glitching all over the place. I'm sure it's rather scary in the seat of Liam Wilder, who does pull off a wonderful little overtake. Although D10's still going to fight this one back. But the inside line belongs to Liam Wilder, and he is able to take that position away from the Alfa Romeo. Yeah, we have had a lot of people. I've raced against laggy people. Everyone's done it in open lobbies, and it is a scary experience to say the least. Giannuzzi manages to get himself ahead of El Plan now as well, and they can start going after El Nino. Looks like Pyro has managed to get ahead of Jack Imac. Of course, now we've got the DRS active. Pyro leads the first DRS train. That involves most of the grid. And actually a little further back though, look at this little battle that's four cars getting involved in this little squabble with DRS now active. Liam Wilder leads them away, but 3 behind do have DRS enabled. The inside line is looking delicious for El Plan. He thinks about sending one to the inside, but it's just a little bit too far back to do so. D10 picks up the first 3-second time penalty of the evening then. And that will set him back in this little battle just a bit more than he perhaps would have desired to be. El Plan is being close, is going to be gapped, I'm sure, in the next couple of laps by Liam Wilder, who will be looking to join the back of the DRS train, headed by the Red Bull of Jack Imac at the moment. And it's really, honestly, it's actually not going to be long before everyone on the grid is pretty much in this DRS train, apart from the bottom few drivers who are actually in their own DRS train. El Nino, Petaflat is kind of falling outside of that DRS train at the moment, so it's starting to crumble, it's starting to split a little bit. But that DRS working once again. Pyro able to get ahead. Unitos actually thinking about a move on tech support as well. I mean, tech support does need to be really careful. He is on that harder compound tyre, and it is going to take him a lot more time for those to warm up. Warm up and be in a good operating window. Just got to wait for those mediums to wear down a little bit, and eventually tech support will be faster. He can also rely on a bit of squabbling that happens ahead to give him that extra pace advantage. But there goes Jack Imac once again on Pyro, making that move. Gets a nice, actually does that with a really good exit through turn 3, and then making it work down the inside at turn 4, where he crashed in season 3. I think every single track we go to, it's always good to try and remember where Jack Imac crashed on that circuit, because I swear he crashes or spins everywhere. Oh, look at this, Unitos and Jammy Dodge going wheel to wheel, or they were going wheel to wheel before they stopped as soon as we started talking about it. And what's happened? I think someone's got off in the front. Unitos also going off. He's gonna have to give that one back, but that's gonna really slow him down. He tries to chop off Jammy Dodge. Well, he does chop off Jammy Dodge, who himself has got DRS compared to the other two that don't. And he tries to go all the way around the outside, but there's no space. He has to cut to the inside, cut the corner a little bit and relinquish that position. But that is going to give him a poor exit. And now Power GT can look to go around the outside. try and find a way around, but it's not going to quite work this time around. For him. But as they make their way back down into turn one again, Jammy Dodge to the inside of Fuzzle, but Fuzzle's going to fight it and push Jammy Dodge slightly wide. That's going to allow Power GT to get the advantage ahead of Mr. Jammy Dodge, who unfortunately finds himself down in P9 now, but Power GT gives that place back. I don't know why Power gave that one back, whether he had a legal overtake or something, but he definitely gave that back. That was not a scheduled pass. He didn't look like he had a bad exit or anything. And, well, looks like Jack Imac has finally managed to make his way ahead of and outside the DRS of Pyro, who is struggling a little bit more in the session. Oh, he's very loose on the exit. Does a fantastic job to be able to catch that car. We did just see quite how to a different angle he just went there. And that could have been almost cataclysmic. But then they're all really close together following Unitos as Tech Support manages to get himself a break outside the DRS on the hard compound tyres. And now this is where the battle is from P5 downwards. Unitos no DRS. Everyone else behind has got the DRS. Pyro, sorry, that's Jammy Dodge. Fuzzle into turn 27 they go. Fuzzle tries to stick a wing round the outside. Jammy Dodge manages to get ahead of his teammate, who has really started to struggle ever since he had that massive snap of oversteer that could have sent him into the barriers very, very easy as such, as they now barrel their way down into turn one, almost 3 wide, 2 wide in many places around the circuit. Everyone kind of remaining well behaved. Unitos still there on the outside of the Mercedes as he slips into the slipstream of Jammy Dodge, and the two Astons go wheel to wheel almost off the circuit for Unitos as he stays ahead of his teammate El Nino right in the back of this squabble, trying desperately to see if he can find a way to get in between this inter-team battle you see nothing like in real life Formula 1, because Lance Stroll is got questionable driving skills in a Formula 1 car. Swept back Flame into the pits, retires in the session. That 5-second penalty meaning nothing for him then. Fuzzle, the only one of this group actually with penalties at the moment. He's got 3 seconds. Tech Support has managed to break away from this group, only by 1.2 seconds. All yellow in Sector 1, that's for Sweatback Flame, sorry. Looks like Liam Boulder managing to get himself ahead of Petaflat as he is on the charge through R. I'm wondering if Sweatback had some contact with L Plan and that gave him some pretty bad damage. Not too sure about that one. But we are going to flick back to our little squabble that's happening up here towards the top of the grid. Fuzzle looks like he's got a rather poor exit. Pulls to the inside to try and escape the slipstream of what the Mercedes are doing in the back. There goes Pyro to the outside ahead before they even reach the braking zone of the corner. Nobody else looking to make any moves then. Just Fuzzle and Pyro trading places. Yeah, so we'll take a short break from these guys up here to just talk about the leader, Try Going Later Boy, who is really controlling the pace out front quite nicely. 2 seconds away from Shakos to himself is 3.2 away from Jack Imac. But Jack does have 8 tenths behind him. Tech Support inside the DRS. It looks like those hards are starting to work rather nicely for the Alfa Romeo car now. And he can perhaps start to use that tyre advantage to reel in the rest of the guys out front. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out over the remaining few laps in this session then. So Pyro looks like he's starting to have a little bit of a break, whereas Unitos picks up 3 seconds worth of time penalties now. Crucially, Power GT's actually fallen off the back of the DRS of El Nino, is now victim to the squabble. Liam Boulder, Unitos and Petaflat getting very close to the rear of that Aston Martin car. The second Aston Martin, that could have been rather consequential. Liam Boulder holding that inside line now as he tries to find space to split the Aston Martins. They go 3 wide into turn 27. Liam Boulder right in the middle of an Aston Martin sandwich, and he manages to squeeze his way through, finding the space to get ahead of one, but not the other though. As they're into the pit lane comes the Alpine of Giannuzzi, and Liam Welder, though, is they're going to go 3 wide once again. A McLaren in the background. Liam's got that inside line now as the Aston squabble for space. A little cutback from Power GT, trying to get the exit speed, trying to stick a wheel in somewhere on the Williams of Liam Welder, who eventually is able to get ahead and into P9, where he can start tracking down El Nino. But remember, these hard tyre runners are, these hard runners are going to start to just get better and better. But El Nino's made a massive mistake there in the first sector. And Liam Boulder is now right back in the DRS of our P8 running car at the moment then. So where else do we look really around the circuit? Tech support losing a lot of time behind Jack Imac at the moment. I think Jack's tyres look like they've gone off quite aggressively now, especially compared to the hards that Tech support's running on his Alfa Romeo. Although we're looking further back then, just for a little quick overtake from Jamie Dodge on Fuzzle. They've sort of split into a couple of different groups. This was a big train. Now it's multiple different groups. Tech support down the inside before they even reach the corner. And that is Techie into the podium places, and he can start to perhaps try and hunt down Shakos, who is 4.5 seconds in front of him, though. That's a big ask to do in just as many laps as we've got left then. Unitos managing to get ahead of his teammate. This little battle for the final points position is getting really, really spicy here. And now look at Petter Flat actually down the inside of one of the Aston Martins. And Power GT is going to try and force Petter Flat as wide as he possibly can. Zakis Beast takes 5 seconds and retires in the pit lane, then bringing his rather abysmal race to an end. Giannuzzi made an early little stop there as they're still going to be squabbling all the way through this section of corners. What a move by Petter Flat on Power GT. He made that one work really well. Great racing between these guys. Somehow managing to remain unscathed. You don't see that happening often in Tier 2. And that's a great little overtake from Petter Flat, but he has dropped 1.5 seconds behind Unitos and will be vulnerable in the upcoming DRS zones. So in terms of impact into the gap that Shakos has on tech support, Techie hasn't really made a big impact. He hasn't really made much of an impact at all, to be honest. He's just kind of stalled out behind him. I mean, that gap is... I can't remember what it was at the start of the lap, but we will look next lap as and where it is on the circuit. So Giannuzzi's strategy interesting, going for a late box. I suppose he didn't really have anything to lose, so I would have gone... I don't really know what the wear's like actually on the soft compound tyres. But, well, we start another lap and another bit of overtaking for this little battle for the higher points positions. No one really squabbling all that too hard now. D10 comes from the depths to manage to get involved in this little battle. Actually, I say involved, ahead into P11, can start to hunt down Unitos if that's possible. 2.5 second gap, pretty chunky amount of time to reduce. El Plan getting involved in this one with Petter Flat, who did have a great little lap last time around on lap 19, struggling a little bit more on lap 20 when El Plan gets involved, and those guys have now been pushed outside the DRS of Power GT. And there we go, the train there starting to break up that little bit more. So Liam Welder here has managed to get himself ahead of Pyro. I'm wondering if Pyro's made a little mistake somewhere across the lap that's cost him quite a bit of time. Because now Liam is also outside the DRS of Jamie Dodge in front, with Pyro being within Liam's DRS and no ERS apart from everyone but Jamie Dodge. Pretty much has got no ERS to play with. Fuzzle does, to be fair. But he just had a 3-second time penalty, which is not ideal. So yeah, that gap at the front between Tech Support and Shakos has actually grown a little bit more now. And, well, not really much they could do about it. And neither could Liam from that move from Pyro, who unfortunately Liam just couldn't. Oh no, Jamie Dodge is disconnected. Oh, Marks, that's all your money gone. So now everyone will get ahead of Jamie Dodge that's in this train. Pyro, Liam, Fuzzle, El Nino, possibly. El Nino, Unitos. See, this is the problem with I don't know if I've actually got Jammy Dodge on friends. Oh no, he's joined. Never mind. Never mind. So Jammy has really dropped down places, and that's through a disconnect. Literally nothing he could really do there, and it's too late in the race to claw those positions back. He's he's far too far down the order, really, and well, that's his P10 is going to be the best he's going to be able to manage, as he almost drives into the wall as he joins back. Yeah, no, that's unfortunate for Jammy Dodge, but as always next weekend. Pyro and Liam also squabbling away now. That will allow Fuzzle to close right back in to the rear of Liam Wilder. Pyro's got no DRS, but Liam does. Pulls to the outside as Pyro tries to defend that line. On the outside line now, that becomes the inside. Liam Wilder makes his way up into P5 ahead of Pyro, who has Fuzzle just behind him, looking like he is eager for that position, for some higher points paying positions than he is getting at the moment. Just looking a little further up, tech support hasn't been able to gap Jack Imac as what I expected him to, and I thought tech support would now start to close into Shakos and try again later boy, possibly challenging Shakos. Not try again later boy though, he's a bit too far in the lead. Fuzzle dropping back just a little bit now and being brought into these slightly backhanded squabbles between Unitos and El Nino, where Unitos manages to make his way into P8 then. I mean, the ferocity of the fighting for these lower points positions is just impeccable. I mean, these guys are fighting so hard with so much passion. It's honestly incredible. Look at Unitos as Fuzzle just cuts across the nose of the Aston Martin. He would have had to slow down, or he definitely would have had some squeaky bum time. That is for sure. Oh, that's not ideal. I don't know if you heard that, but my jaw clicked. That's not really what you want to be hearing. Look at Pyro and Liam once again. Liam without the DRS this time. Pyro with the DRS manages to make that move work. No, the Fuzzle and Unitos retain their current positions, but Liam Bwalder will have to settle for P6. P5 is certainly on the cards for Mr. Liam Bwalder. El Nino has actually got his fuel under control now, which is for the better. It was as Petter Flat picks up 3 seconds worth of time penalties. Here we go. Tech support is now starting to eat into Shakos's time, but he's brought it down to pretty much where it was at the start when he just got ahead of Jack Imac rather than now, and that gap is, yeah, it's a little close. Oh, Unitos, what happened? We saw him going slow. I thought I saw an Aston going slow, and it was Unitos dropping himself outside of the points paying positions now. I'm going to be struggling for grip all over the circuit. Oh, that's not ideal for Unitos. Loses a place to D10 as well. Not sure quite what happened there, but whatever. It wasn't pretty because he lost a lot of places. A lot of places indeed. So then we look back to the squabble that's going to be happening once again. Liam Bonner managed to get himself ahead without, where there wasn't even a DRS zone, just pure pace for the Dutchman, who unfortunately has Pyro on his outside. More DRS for the guys behind him. Liam's going to be almost in the middle, but has to brake really late, gets close to Pyro. El Nino managing to get ahead of Fuzzle now, but Liam Bwalder had to be so brave on the brake pedal there to avoid being overtaken by cars behind, even if that was just to cut him up and slow him down. Show pens, yes of course. There are your penalties at the moment. Fuzzle with 3 seconds, 6 seconds, we just put it on the leader gap. 6 seconds or 9 seconds now for D10. It'll probably be 12 by the checkered flag. 3 seconds for Petter Flat, 3 seconds for Unitos as well. So not many penalties actually, to be in all fairness. You don't really tend to see too many in T1. I don't actually, to be fair, because I don't have a computer, I just have a laptop, I don't have a keyboard. That's one thing I need to think about getting. But look at El Nino, actually. Even with DRS, Liam Boyle's defenceless against the straight line speed of the Haas, who himself is now able to get up ahead of Liam, pushing him down into P7. Not what Liam was hoping for going on to the final lap of the race now. And look at this almighty squabble as it's going to get really intense here for all the drivers. Liam Boyle tries to hang it around the outside of turn 27, but look at how close Fuzzle is to him. It's literally hundredths between the two of them. And now the DRS is more than active for Liam Boyle. Then as Pyro got no defence. El Nino thinks about the inside. Liam forces his way through with muscles and late braking, but Pyro's still going to be there, but not for long, as Liam Boulder makes his way up into P5 on the final lap of this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. This is going to be where he uses all of the ERS that he's got. It's going to be a mad dash to the checkered flag, I think, from steal one from Spoons. They've got. I'm sure they've probably got some in the office, but I mean, I can't. I don't really want to steal. Not really trying to get fired at the moment. Maybe when it's time to quit, in a couple of years' time. Watch Unitos. What's Unitos doing? Absolutely nothing. We're not going to watch him. But then, throughout trials and tribulations, one man has had an incredibly dominant weekend display here in XLR. Round 3 for our sprint season. There could only be one man to win this evening's race, and that's Try Again Later Boy. An incredible performance out on the circuit today. We're going to pay right back attention, though, to what's going on in the back, as this is where the real squabbles are. I think Jack's had a spin somewhere as he's dropped down massively, but this is going to be the massive fight to the line. Pyro and Fuzzle both getting ahead of Liam Boulder at the final corner, but Liam with penalties remains in P6. Jamie Dodge with a disconnect in P7. Pyro in P5. That was a real intense battle. Towards the end, wow, that was massive. Wow. I mean, the level of racing we saw for those P5 to like P9 places was just impeccable. The standards were incredible from all of the drivers. I think we'll see what the tickets say later, and the entertainment factor was incredible. Try Again Later Boy then does take the win. It was a dominant win. It was barely really in question for him, really. Shakos in P2 looked like it might have been a bit of a dodgy getaway from him with tech support coming through the order, but he was able to hold on for long enough. Tech support then in the end finished out in P3. Question mark, did Jack Imac spin? I don't know, but he had a brilliant drive today. I think he'll probably be my driver of the day. I mean, P14 to P4, he drove brilliantly. The qualifying looked really dodgy for him, because that qualifying was out on pace, by the way, not just got blocked like Liam, and he pulled it back in the race wonderfully, and I can't fault that drive really for Jack Hymack, apart from the fact we think he spun or something, since he finished 3 seconds behind tech support. I think he almost bottled on the last lap. Oh, Jack, what will you do with you? Pyro in P5, then Liam P6, P7 for Jammy Dodge, P8 for El Nino. Before we got Power GT in P9, and Fuzzle rounds out the top 10. El Plan, Giannici, Petaflat, Unitos, and D10 are the rest of the finishers, with Zaki's Beast and a couple of other guys DNFing. Well, I just lost my channel saving points because I believed in tech support. One shall never do that again. Well, thank you everybody so much for watching the stream today. I, again, really enjoyed it. It was great fun. And, well, I hope to see you guys next week for when we go racing once more around a different circuit. So everyone have a great week, and we hope to see you next time for round 4 here in XLR. Take care, everybody. Have a good evening.